Beef on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have watched it. If you haven't, I suggest you go watch it and then come back for this review because I think I'm going to spoil it just a little bit. But I think this is one of those shows that have been really good, and I haven't really watched a good show in a while. And yeah, I'm really glad I got to watch it. I really enjoyed myself. So this review has been a long time coming, so let's get into this. I remember when the first trailer came out, I was excited because I like Ali Wong as a comedian. I've watched almost all her specials, and I think there's a movie she did with Keanu Reeves, I think, on Netflix as well. But I think this show, Beef, really showed her skill as an actor. I didn't think she would be this good. So it was quite a good surprise seeing how good she was as an actor. She brought out Amy as a character really, really well. As in her and Steven Yeun as Danny, I think they did a tremendous job. Because they were the main characters in the whole show, and I think they did well. Steven Yeun, I mostly know him from The Walking Dead. He was also on the movie Nope that came out last year. But those are just some of the few things. I know he's been on other stuff, but I think those are the main things that I know him from. So, in summary, Beef is just beef that was birthed from very weird bad road rage, and that's why I think people need outlets. Because this road rage incident, which was supposed to be a one-time thing, spiraled out of control and ended up messing, literally destroying Amy's and Danny's life. Something that would have been just simple got people in jail, others died. There was a kidnapping, as in it was a whole thing. As in looking back, you wouldn't think that this whole thing was as a result of one road rage incident. So, yeah, I think I like its simplicity and its complexity all at the same time. The other thing that I really loved about the show was its relatability aspect. It was a pretty relatable storyline where we find Amy at her very peak. She's at the peak of her career. She's worked really hard to build the kind of life that she has. She's the sole breadwinner of her family. She's about to sell her company for millions of dollars to set her up for life completely. But the time you would think she'd be the happiest, but she isn't, because she's still dealing with a lot of things that happened. She's dealing with a lot of unresolved trauma from her life, and since she hasn't resolved all those things that have happened, she's never had the courage to be open with herself and also her partner. We see this incident, this road rage incident, break down into so many things. I know we live in a generation or at a time where material possessions, material wealth is like a really big deal. I think it's one of the biggest reasons we wake up in the morning. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm currently doing right now, in the hopes that one day it will pay off, right? But it made success this rat race that you'll always have to run, and at some point it will eat you up and chew you back out, and you'll be very unrecognizable. Because Amy is at her happiest, but she still isn't. And we also get to see Danny succeed, but he still isn't happy. So, what really makes you happy? What makes you you is the question I got. Honesty, as they say, is the best policy. So, try to be honest with yourself. And I think when you're honest with yourself, you get to face a lot of the uncomfortable part of yourself, which is not easy when you see parts of yourself that you would rather hide. And yeah, I think just be honest with yourself. And as I said, check in with yourself if you can. And yeah, I think that's what I mostly picked up from Amy's story. When it comes to Danny, he also wasn't honest with himself. He put a lot of pressure on himself, unnecessary pressure, and he kept blaming the world and everything that happened around him for where he was at life because he was struggling. I think he was the cause of his parents losing the motel they were running. So he had to basically grow some balls and do what needed to be done. But even with that, even when he finally took control, because I remember there was a conversation they had with Amy, and she was like, take control of your life, do something with your life, do something with your business. Instead of allowing things and people to run you, you should run yourself. And he gets to that point where he is successful, yes, but he ends up self-sabotaging himself in a crazy way. And I think the most valuable conversation was the one that they had in the last episode when where they were trapped in the desert. And that's why I'm saying the aspect of being honest with yourself is very important. And when you find people you can be honest and yourself with, it also goes a long way because you get to see things from other perspectives and you're allowed to let go. So that's the general breakdown. I don't want to spoil it too much, but the thing is, it hooks you from the first episode to the very last one. It has a stellar cast. It's wonderfully written and executed. I think it's a show that people should watch, and you guys should tell me what you think about it. I personally really, really enjoyed it, and I usually enjoy shows or movies that either entertain me, inform me, and challenge me. And this is one of those shows that really challenged my perspective on how to look at life, success, the aspect of being honest, as I said. So, sorry if this review turned out to be a TED talk, but I think it was necessary for it to be like that, for me to explain it to you guys. So, Beef on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, go watch it and tell me what you think about it. I'll see you on the next one.